welcome back to KA MMA. I'm Khalil Deal.
I'm Andy O.
And we are KA MMA, and we are about to talk about UFC 307. This is going to be a fight that's taking place in Utah, and it's going to be Alex Pereira versus, losing my train of thought here.
Khalil Roundtree.
Khalil Roundtree. It's my freaking name, and I'm forgetting. All right, so we're talking about the early predictions for the prelims here. First fight's going to be Tim Means versus Court McGee. Ovin St. Preux versus Ryan Span's the second fight. After that, we got Carla Esparza versus Tisha Pennington. Alexander Hernandez versus Austin Hubbard. Ihor Potieria versus Cesar Almeida. Marina Rodriguez versus Yasmin Lucindo. And the main event of the prelims, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson versus Joaquin Buckley. Let's get into it, man. The first fight we have here is Tim Means versus Court McGee. Who you got here, Andy O?
All right, so in the battle of these old dinos, I'm going to be taking Tim Means. I think he looks and moves around a lot younger than Court McGee, who's been knocked out 2 out of his last 3 fights pretty hard against Alex Morono, who's washed, by the way, himself, I think. Actually, he lost a decision to him, but I think Morono's washed, and he got knocked out by Matt Brown and Jeremiah Wells. So I think Tim Means is more snappy with his punches. He moves around a little more. Don't forget the cage is bigger and this time around for this event. And I think he just has more gas left in the tank than good old Court McGee. What about you, Real Deal?
You know what? After thinking about it, there, I think I like what you said, man. I'm gonna go with I think I'm gonna go with Tim Means, man. At first, I was gonna go with Court McGee. He's definitely going to make the dog list for sure when we talk about the betting. But you know, because the fact that Court McGee, he does fight out of the Pit Elevated Fight Team, which is in Utah. So he's used to that elevation. I'm just worried about the gas tank of Tim Means. Let's hope that at 40 years old there, he still has a good gas tank. I know Court McGee's around the same age, but you're right. He's a better striker. Tim Means has way more crisper striking, and he's better on the feet. I'm just worried about the takedowns from Court McGee. Hopefully his takedown defense will be good, and Tim Means will be able to stuff the takedowns, because that's what Court McGee likes to do. He likes to fight dirty. He comes in, gets in close, gets you in the clinch, gets you against the cage, you know, tries to clinch up with you, throw a few knees, tries to take you down, and he's relentless with takedowns. So that's what I'm worried about a bit. Hopefully Tim Means could land some hard punches. I know Court McGee's chin's not good. He did get knocked out by Matt Brown, also got knocked out by Jeremiah Wells. So his chin is suspect, you know, and even Alex Morono was able to beat him. So, you know, and Alex Morono, we saw him in his last fight, wasn't looking too good.
He could probably beat him again, but I think he's still washed.
Yeah, seriously. And then again, also, if we look on the Tim Means side there, this guy's lost 4 out of his last 5 as well. You know, he's lost to Kevin Holland, Max Griffin, Morono as well, and Euros Medic. But if you look at Morono was able to sub Tim Means, whereas against Court McGee, it went to a decision, right? So Court McGee might be a little bit more durable or better, I guess, against the submissions.
Morono was less washed then.
That's true too. Although it wasn't that long ago, it was only 5.
Yeah, I really think Morono got completely washed after his last fight. Remember, he was fighting the other wash guy, and he like blew his load like right away.
Yeah,
I'm getting a bit off topic here, but I'm thinking definitely picking against Morono the next time around.
I'm gonna side with you and go with Tim Means. I think he can get the win here, squeak out a decision win. I don't think he's knocking out Court McGee though. I think he might just outpoint Court McGee and just outstrike him. I think that's how he gets the win here. But I don't think a finish is live for Tim Means at all.
I'm going to call a finish for Tim Means by knockout.
I mean, it's possible he can get knocked out if he lands something hard on Court McGee, but I definitely see him outstriking him. I see Court McGee's a tough motherfucker. He might be able, especially out in the altitude there in Utah. You know, it might be you know, when we start getting into the second round, third round, guys are tiring. They're getting very tired, especially you know, guys like Tim Means might get tired out, and his punches might not be as powerful. So, but I'll take Tim Means to get the win here. We are in agreement with the first fight of the prelims, but like I said, Court McGee is a good dog. Definitely going to have him on the dogs list. All right, let's move on up to the next fight here. We got Ovin St. Preux against Ryan Spann. not very impressed with either of these guys. Both of these guys are really, really bad. They both lost 3 out of their last 5 fights. But Ryan Spann's the younger guy, man. The guy's 33 years old. Ovin St. Preux's 41 years old. He's getting up there. Ryan Spann will have the 2-inch height advantage. And he's just a more polished striker and boxer. Ovin St. Preux hits you with loopy shots, like very, very, like, like shots that are not precise at all. He just throws and swings for the fences. Whereas Ryan Spann's more precise, more technical. He also has a good ground game, Ryan Spann. He could take you down. He has submissions too. So I'm going to go with Ryan Spann to get the win here, man. What about you?
Yeah, I got to go with Ryan Spann. I think he has more power, that's for sure, than Ove St. Preux. I don't think he's all that really technical, though. I'm just picking him because he's younger and because I would be more pissed at OSP if I were to pick him and he'd lose than if I were picking Spann and he would lose. Because OSP, man, he looks like he doesn't really try in there. Everything is labored. Yeah, he used to be a good athlete, but you can't see any athleticism. I said I wouldn't pick Spann before again, but against OSP, a 42-year-old OSP, right? Or for very, very close. I just got to pick the guy that's 10 years younger and probably feels he has a sliver of potential left in the UFC. So give me Ryan Spann. I don't know, man. By knockout.
Yeah, I think Ryan Spann could get a knockout or a submission in this fight. I just don't think the gas tank on Ovin St. Preux is that good. He gets very, very tired in fights. Now that it's going to be an elevation there, I can see him getting super tired. And I could see Ryan Spann having more energy, being the fresher fighter. I see Ryan Spann landing some good leg kicks and very good strikes. And might be able to catch Ovin St. Preux with something. He did get knocked out by Philip Lins. He did get knocked out by Tanner Boser and Jamal Hill. So we're talking his last 3 losses have been all by knockout. So, yeah, I think that there's a good chance that Ryan Spann could get a good knockout. Plus, I feel like Ryan Spann's fought the better fighters, man. Bogdan Guskov, Anthony Smith, Nikita Krylov, Dominic Reyes, Jan Kutelaba. Whereas Ovin St. Preux, he's fought Jamal Hill, Tanner Boser, Mauricio Rua, Philip Lins. Nizhachuk was probably his best fight. So I like Ryan Spann.
Dude, man, if you go back, he's fought tons. He's fought.
Yeah, if you go way, way back, I'm just talking about the last, most recent fights of his, though, since 2020, have been, not the best fighters there. And I think that Ryan Spann's fought some tougher guys in the last.
I say his best fight was against John Jones, and he's kind of been slipping slightly ever since then. But he's fought the who's who, man, OSP.
Definitely has, but we're talking about OSP prime at that time, right? But now he's the old OSP, the old man now. I just don't. I don't feel like he's getting any better. I think he's getting worse. And I think the youth and the more powerful and technical striker and the better fighter overall. So yeah, Ryan Spann for me to win by KO or decision. I don't think he subs Ovin St. Preux, although that could be a possibility. But I'll go more with the KO or a decision win here. All right, let's move. So we are in agreement as well with Ryan Spann. Let's move on up to the next fight of the prelims. We've got here the ladies going at it. Carla Esparza versus Tisha Pennington. Andy, who you got here? I'm curious.
Here I'm going to have to go with an old motto of mine, speed kills, in this nice big cage we got going for Tisha Pennington. I think she's going to get a decision. I really think that Carla Esparza is done. It's been like 2 years since she fought. And, she got married recently, and I really think this could actually be her retirement fight. In fact, I think all of these women, it could, both the Penningtons and Esparza, I feel it could be all their retirement fights. In this case, though, I'm going to go with the Pennington to win here. Carla Esparza is that one-trick pony. She's not good striking at all, no power. She's going to try to work the takedowns and try to dominate with control time. That's the only way she can win. But I feel Pennington has more gas in the tank. And I feel she's really squirmy if she gets down there. Her takedown defense is not bad. She's like a million times faster, don't forget. She has really nice leg kicks. If she can sneak in a few of those in there before they get caught, I think that would help. And I just think she's going to win by points here because Torres does not have much power herself. What about you, Real Deal?
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I like Tisha Pennington here. Fighting with her wife on this card. Raquel Pennington's going to be fighting in the main card. She's on the prelims here. Yeah, I think that the wives are going to win in this card, man. And Tisha Pennington's looking good. I know she lost to Tabitha Ricci, but that was by split decision. Could have gone the other way. Same thing with Mackenzie Dern, split decision. Carla fought 2 years ago, lost to Wiley Zhang, got subbed out, and it's been a long time since she's fought. Like you said, it was in 2022.
Well, look, she did nothing in that fight. Well, she got beaten real good against Willie Zhang, but we remember that Rose Namajunas fight that like they both did absolutely nothing, right? So you can't even really count that. So we're looking at like a long time since we actually saw Carla Esparza fight well, right? I don't know.
The last significant win was when she knocked out Zhao Ningyan 3 years and 4 months ago.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, Carla Esparza is on the downhill now. She's definitely. I think Tisha Pennington is just tougher. I think she's going to be stronger. I think she's going to be able to ragdoll Carla Esparza a little bit, get her on the ground. She's a much better wrestler, I find. And yeah, I think that Tisha Torres can get some good striking and can fend off Carla Esparza's takedowns, get takedowns of her own. I know that Carla Esparza is good at grappling and wrestling as well, but it's not the same Carla Esparza as before. You will see in this fight, her takedowns are not going to be as good. They're not going to be as effective as it used to be. Tisha Pennington will be able to fend off her takedowns, I believe. And I just think she's stronger. She's going to hit her with more stronger punches, more powerful punches. She's faster, like you said, much more. She's got much more speed. And I think that that's what's going to help her win this fight. So I got Tisha Pennington winning by decision in this one. Both these girls are very tough, so I don't think it finishes here. But I think the takedowns, the control time, and the number of strikes landed will be in the favor of Tisha Pennington here. So I'm going with her to get the win. Nice. We're in agreement with this one as well. Let's move on up to the next fight here. We got Alex Hernandez versus Austin Hubbard. I was really, not sure about this one either. I mean,
Not me.
Hernandez, man, the guy has lost so many fights, lost 4 out of his last 5. I think he's fighting for his life here. Man, and again, Austin Hubbard is fighting Elevation Fight Team. These guys are used to fighting in Elevation, used to the difference in height when you're fighting in Elevation in Utah. People are getting tired out. This guy's from Denver, Colorado. So I think Austin Hubbard can pull this one off, man. I'm not confident in it at all. I'll definitely say I'm not confident in it at all. But I think there's a possibility that Austin Hubbard can pull this one off. I'm slightly leaning towards Austin Hubbard. What about you?
No, I'm leaning. I'm leaning heavily toward Austin Hubbard here.
Oh, you're on the Austin Hubbard side as well. Nice.
Look, it's this elevation thing. I don't know if I'm really taking that seriously this time around, because if you remember the last time we were afraid of that, wherever that was, like it had no impact, So, but I do think the same thing is going to happen in this fight. Is that Alex Hernandez is going to gas out. He's going to start off really well. He's gonna get frustrated. As he usually does when things aren't going his way and he can't get the finish as early as he can. And Hubbard, he's going to mix in the takedowns. He's going to mix in the volume, and he's not going to give up, man. Like when he beat Pereira, if you remember there. Like Pereira, when he was doing all his insane shit, he didn't let it get to him, and he ended up winning the fight when Pereira gassed out. So, look, man, also with Alex Hernandez, he's a guy that gets on my nerves because you can tell like he has more skills everywhere than the other guy usually that he fights, especially in the wrestling. And he just can't find himself in his fights, man. And he really started going down, I think, when Donald Cerrone subbed him in half that time when he was all cocky there. I don't know if you remember. So that's it for me, man. That's all I have to see with this Alex Hernandez. And I'm taking Hubbard by decision, maybe even sub, but give me decision for Hubbard.
Yeah, I'm in agreement, man. I got Austin Hubbard as well here. I mean, the guy's lost 4 out of his last 5. I really can't trust Alex Fernandez. He already has a gas tank problem, and it's not in elevation. So now imagine in elevation, the gas tank's going to be even worse. And he did not look very good in his last 2 fights. I mean, Bill Algeo had his way with him. Damon Jackson, that was a closer fight. And he did win against an older Jim Miller. But that was when Jim Miller was, getting way up there in age and not as good as he was. But he did get knocked out by Billy Quarantino and got subbed by Renato Moicano as well. So, he has not been looking good, Alex Hernandez. And I think that you're right, man. I think that Austin Hubbard is the better fighter. I think that his gas tank is going to be better. I think that he's going to be the better striker. And I think that Austin Hubbard also can grapple as well a little bit. So he might be able to take down Alex Hernandez. So, yeah, I got...
You probably will at some point. But although I would have to say Hernandez is better everywhere.
Yeah.
I do, but all of the rest of it gets in the way of this guy. It's crazy. Like, honestly, I wouldn't have thought maybe 3 years ago that I would see Fernandez with 4 bright L's there and 1 W at one point.
I know.
Like, he's a lot better. He fails himself, man. That's what I really think. Anyway.
Yeah, so Austin Hubbard is going to be the pick for me there. We'll take a look at the betting. Maybe if I don't even know who's the dog in this one.
Yeah, me neither.
But we'd have to check that out. All right, so we're in agreement with Austin Hubbard in this one. Let's move on up to the next fight here. Ihor Potieria against Cesar Almeida.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so I got Cesar Almeida in this one. I just think Ihor Potieria, this guy's been, looking pretty bad as of late. Lost 3 out of his last 5. Cesar Almeida is a very good kickboxer. He's also once beaten Alex Pereira. He's very, very good on the feet. I think he's a better striker than Potieria. Both of these guys are strikers. So I see this fight staying on the feet. And Cesar Almeida's got, I think he's a bit more powerful than Potieria. Of course, Potieria is younger at 28 years old. He's going to be 8 years younger, have a 2-inch height advantage there. But I think Cesar Almeida can get the win here and outpace him. And I think he'll just be too much with his forward pressure and his striking. So I got Cesar Almeida winning this one. What about you?
To get the win here. I'm still not sold on this Almeida guy, man. At 5-1. I know he beat Pereira once by decision, by split decision, but that was kickboxing. That was like 10 years ago. I think what Potieria has in his advantage is quicker combos when he gets in rhythm. And if he can get inside on this guy and work the ground game immediately, like he has to do that in order to win. And I suspect Cesar Almeida, if he doesn't get that space, he's going to be the one gassing out early in this Utah altitude. So give me Potieria by sub in the early 3rd round.
I think he has good cardio, though, Cesar Almeida, man. But you know what, though? I think a sprinkle might be a possibility in the betting here.
I think we're going to be seeing your salt shaker because I think the line is going to only grow on this one. So let's hold off on that and for the sprinkle. You're right.
He's a fairly pretty big underdog there. So I think that by the time the fight time comes, he'll be even more of an underdog. But I think Cesar Almeida can pull this one off. I think he's just going to be a little bit better on the feet there, land more strikes and kicks. And he could possibly hurt Potieria. I mean, he's been knocked out by Rodolfo Bellato and Carlos Ulberg.
I'm not saying it with a super high confidence.
Also, Cesar Almeida for me is the pick. We're in disagreement here. I'm wondering if there's any biasness there on your side because he's Ukrainian.
Oh, no. Really, Cesar Almeida hasn't shown me enough, man. I'll write off Potieria if he doesn't prove me right this time around.
All right. I'm in disagreement with this fight, man. I've got Cesar Almeida in this one. All right, let's move on up to the next fight here. The ladies again. We got Marina Rodriguez against Yasmin Lucindo. It's your turn. What you got here, Andio?
Yes. So I'm going to have to go with Yasmin Lucindo, baby. I like her pressure and relentlessness. The only thing I worry about her in this fight is her gassing out, but she's so super young. And I'm sure that's one of the first things her coaches have been working with her. Marina Rodriguez, she has good boxing, but I don't like her pressure. I don't like her intensity. It's like just another day there that she's not really going out of her way to try and win her fights, I find. Yasmin Lucindo, I realize Rodriguez is going to be her like step up in competition here, but let's not forget the altitude. Let's not forget that Rodriguez is 37 and a half years old, and she's up against this young young Bucka, and I think it's Lucindo by decision.
Yeah, I'm in agreement too. I got Yasmin Lucindo
Nice.
to win this one as well. She's 22 years old. We're talking a huge 15-year difference between the two of them. That's very, very significant. The fact that this is going to be fighting in elevation there, I think Marina Rodriguez will be tired out way faster. Yes, she does have the height advantage there, at a 3-inch height advantage for Marina Rodriguez. But I think that Yasmin Lucindo is going to be the quicker fighter. She's
Yeah.
got very good skills, and she's got good takedowns. She beat Karolina Kowalczyk by unanimous decision in her last fight, which was pretty impressive. I like the way she looked there. She also subbed Polyana Viana and beat up Brogan Walker. The only loss she had in her last 5 fights was to Yasmin Yaragui. But look at Marina, man. She's been losing all kinds. Losing to Jessica Andrade, losing to Verna Jandaroba. Amanda Lemos knocked her out. She got a split against Zhao Yan. And, she managed to knock out the old Michelle Watterson. And I remember I had picked her in that one to beat Michelle Watterson because I knew that, Michelle Watterson was done at that time. So that's what, but I'm not picking Marina Rodriguez in this one, man. Yasmin Lucinda is just too good. She's young. She's getting better and better. She's the better grappler. I think she's very quick on the feet, and she can land some power. She's got some power to her punches, and she also has some submissions as well. So yeah, I like Yasmin Lucinda to get the win here by decision. All right, so let's move on up to the main event of the prelims here. We got Stephen Wonderboy Thompson against Joaquin Buckley. This one's very easy for me here. I got Joaquin Buckley. I actually think that Stephen Wonderboy is going to retire after this fight, actually. I have a feeling there's something that tells me that he's going to retire, man. He's definitely not been looking good in his last 5 fights. Lost 3 of his last 5.
He looked great in his fight against Holland. He made him give up.
Yeah, that's true against Holland. But the thing is that was a striker versus striker fight. This is more a striker versus an all-around fighter. Joaquin Buckley can wrestle and grapple very, very well. I feel like he's more athletic. I feel like Joaquin Buckley is more powerful. He's going to be bigger, more ripped, more powerful. He's 11 years younger. There's not really a difference in height there except for a couple of inches. And Joaquin, surprisingly, being 2 inches shorter, has a 1-inch reach advantage as well. The last fight against Shavkat Rakhmonov, where Shavkat subbed Wonderboy, we saw that he was easily able to be taken down. Kevin Holland, he kept that fight he kept that fight standing. He did look good against him, but Kevin Holland, I don't even think he was really fighting at his full potential in that fight. He did lose to Bilal Muhammad and Gilbert Burns. Again, these are guys who are good at takedowns. And, who does he really beat, though, is that he beats strikers. And Joaquin Buckley is a striker and a grappler and a wrestler. So I think that Joaquin's going to use that wrestling to his advantage, use that grappling, and get the win here, man. I got Joaquin Buckley winning this one by knockout or decision.
I think this fight is going to be really, really close. I'm going to have to go with Wonderboy by a hair, by decision. The reason is because I don't think Buckley's going to take full advantage of his wrestling.
Oh, he will, man. He likes to charge at you, get the
I
double.
know, and there you go. Those charges at you, that's another thing I worry about because don't forget, Wonderboy has like this side stance, karate stance, avoiding point fighting down to like a science, man. So I wanted to pick Buckley here, but I don't have 100% faith in him. I can see Buckley winning if he uses some of those, getting the knockout even, if he uses some of those improvised Superman style forward burst attacks, which are unlike most fighters I've seen. He uses those very well. Look, I think he's going to win if he really like says, look, I'm not going to bother listening to the UFC that wants to stop groundwork. I know the UFC wants a highlight reel knockout. I'm not going to bother taking him down. If he says that, he's probably going to lose the fight. But if he throws that out the window and says, I'm going to be boring, I'm going to win the fight by holding Wonderboy down there, if I get him down, then he will win the fight. I'm going to say it's going to stay on the feet more than that's going to happen. So that's why I give a slight edge to Buckley. Sorry. Here we go to Thompson.
Hey, deep down.
That's how close it is, man. That's how close it is.
I know deep down you want Buckley. I got to go with Joaquin Buckley, man. This guy fights like Mike Tyson. I don't know if you've seen how he moves side to side.
I know. And I do want Buckley to win, but I have to predict the winner because I predict that there's more upside to Buckley to win. There's more fun fights in the future for him. But just for some reason, in the bigger cage like this, I see Thompson squeaking out a decision.
Can't sit anymore. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson at 41 years old for 3 rounds to be able to fend off the takedowns from Joaquin Buckley for 3 rounds. I think it's going to be tough for him. Not to mention those body shots and kicks that Joaquin Buckley has. He's very athletic, very unorthodox. He's got spinning back fists. He's got very high leg kicks. I don't know if you remember that time that he won there with that highlight reel kick. You remember that? That head kick to Andre Fiallo? It was a highlight reel.
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely insane. So you cannot really predict what Joaquin Buckley's going to do. He called him out for a reason, man, and I believe that Joaquin Buckley called out Stevenson, Wonderboy Stephen Thompson to get because he knows he can beat him, and that's why he called him out after he got that last win. Against Nursultan Rizaboyev. And Nursultan Rizaboyev was a fucking beast, man. Nobody thought that Joaquin was going to beat him. And he did. The much bigger, taller guy. Also, don't forget, he knocked out Vicente Luque the fight before that. So those are...
He was washed, though. Luque's washed.
Very good fighters, man. So, yeah, we're in disagreement with this one. I got to go with Joaquin Buckley. You're going with Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. I have a feeling that by Friday, you might change your mind.
It's possible.
But Joaquin Buckley is the pick for me. There you have it, folks. Our UFC 307 early predictions for the prelims. Stay tuned, and we're going to talk about the main card. Like and subscribe, folks. KAMMA. Peace out.